Discipline. The only path to trading success. Stealth trading welcomes you. I started like everyone else. One quiet evening, in a small room. Only the sound of a fan spinning and the glow of a computer screen kept me company. I was aimlessly scrolling through YouTube when I stumbled upon a video about financial freedom. A sharply dressed man stood in front of a whiteboard, holding a marker, speaking with conviction. If you know how, you can make money anywhere, anytime, with just a computer. It sounded too easy, too good to be true, but I believed it. Fully, completely, as if I'd finally found a way out. A path away from the exhaustion and limitations life had wrapped around me. From that moment on, I dived in with everything I had. I watched dozens of videos a day, bought books, took notes, printed charts, drew trend lines by hand. I devoured every piece of information I could find. I believed that if I learned enough patterns, mastered candlesticks, understood the trends, success was inevitable. I used to think if I just knew everything, I'd win. But I was wrong. I forgot the most important part of trading, my own mind. The first day I placed a real trade, I never expected my hands to shake like that. Sweaty palms, a racing heart. When the price began to move, I lost control. I exited early out of fear, only to regret it when price turned back in my favor. I jumped back in impulsively and lost again. I knew how to analyze. I knew where to enter, where to exit, where to put my stop loss, but I didn't follow through. I didn't cut losses when I should have. I held on, hoping the market would reverse, because I couldn't accept being wrong. It wasn't knowledge I lacked, it was discipline. Trading is not a game of intelligence, it's a game of consistency. And I wasn't consistent. I knew what to do, but I didn't do it. All the theory I had learned shattered the moment emotions came into play. And then it happened. I blew my first account. Not only did I lose money, I lost confidence. The belief I once held like a flame, it flickered out. I looked at myself in the mirror and saw a man who no longer trusted his own hands. I used to be full of ambition, but without discipline, I became someone ashamed, someone who doubted everything. That was when I realized discipline isn't optional. It's the only thing that keeps your dream from turning into a nightmare. You know what? Losing money in trading doesn't feel like getting your wallet stolen in a crowd. It's not like losing a valuable item. It cuts deeper. It touches the most fragile part of you, your self-respect. Because deep down, you know, no one tricked you. No one forced you to press buy or sell. No one destroyed your account, except you. That person sitting in front of the screen, sweating, heart pounding, watching that single red candle stretch endlessly. That was me. But I still remember the sleepless nights. Not because the market moved at night, but because my mind wouldn't rest. My thoughts screamed inside me. Was I wrong? Why did I enter there? Why didn't I close when I had the chance? Am I wasting my life on something I'm not meant for? A single small loss, just a few dollars, can bring down an entire fortress of confidence. I lost my appetite. I avoided conversations. I distanced myself from everything. Even those I loved. No one could see it. No one understood. I still went to work, still smiled at people, still posted stories online, but inside was a battlefield in ruins. Sometimes I would stare at the chart and see nothing. No signals, no clarity, just fog, fatigue, and a sinking feeling of failure. Again and again, like a spiral with no escape. I used to think the market was unpredictable, that it was playing tricks on me, that it was unfair. But after enough pain, I realized the market wasn't cruel. I was weak, too weak to resist greed, too weak to face fear, too weak to anchor myself in a storm of emotion. And that's the tragedy. The only enemy I truly had to conquer was myself. I knew where my stop loss should be, but I didn't place it. I knew I should pause, but I entered one more trade. I knew the market was messy, but I jumped in like a moth to a flame. I knew, but I didn't act. It wasn't knowledge I lacked. It was that one thing: discipline. The most vital part of this craft. Discipline isn't flashy. It doesn't excite you, but it's the only thing that keeps you alive. Without it, you slowly become a stranger to yourself. Lost, unrecognizable, out of control. I used to wake up wondering if I had the strength to keep going. If I could go back to the beginning, I wouldn't look for a new strategy or another pattern. I would just learn how to stay calm, to stay grounded when everything felt like it was falling apart. Because in the end, the greatest enemy isn't on the chart. It's inside you. If you've listened this far, and this story resonates with you, don't forget to like and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Maybe they won't have to lose their way like I did. Thank you so much. There were mornings I'd wake early, sip my coffee as sunlight filtered through the window, and open my charts. I'd stare at the 5-minute, the 15-minute, for an hour, and see nothing. No clear signal, no safe opportunity. Ik knew we should stay out. My rule was, if it's not clear, don't trade. But I still entered. Not because the market told me to, not because there was a perfect setup, but because I couldn't bear the silence. I was afraid of missing a move, afraid of watching price surge without me, afraid of being left out. Trading became less about profit and more about satisfying the urge to act. I clicked not to make money, but to relieve the anxiety, to feel like I was doing something. But every time, the result was the same. I entered too early, too late, in noisy zones, at levels I should have avoided. Emotions in trading don't come like a storm. They whisper, "Try it. Maybe this time it'll work. It's about to move. Don't miss it. If you don't enter now, there won't be another chance." I once held a losing trade that grew from $10,000 to $100,000. Not because I didn't know it was wrong, but because I couldn't accept the pain of being wrong. I even added more money, just to prove to myself I was right. But I was wrong, over and over again, because I didn't have the courage to simply do nothing. Trading doesn't require you to win every day. It doesn't demand that you outperform others. It only asks one thing: can you wait? It's a game of patience. It's not for those who always need action. It's for those who can sit still for a week, waiting for one good setup. That, for me, was the hardest part. Sitting still sounds easy, but it's the ultimate test of character. The days I didn't trade were the days I fought the hardest, not against the market, but against myself, against the fear of missing out, against the need to prove myself, against the voice in my head that said, doing nothing is failure. But the truth is, doing nothing is victory. Because knowing when to stop is the most important survival skill. In trading, being still at the right moment is often harder than clicking at the right moment. I've blown accounts once, twice, 5 times. Each time, it hurt. Not just because of the money, but because of that crushing realization. I wasn't disciplined enough. I wasn't patient enough. I wasn't strong enough. Have you ever opened your trading account and seen zero? Just a cold, empty line. Balance? Zero. No more chances. No more hope. I'd shut the screen, sit in the dark, feeling stupid, defeated, worthless. Not a physical pain, but a wound straight through your pride. I told myself I would quit, that maybe I wasn't cut out for this. I tormented myself with questions. Why can others make money and not me? But something kept me going, not because I believed I would succeed, but because I wasn't ready to give up. I knew I had made so many mistakes. I ignored my trading plan. I overtraded. I moved my stop loss. I took profits too early. I let emotions override reason. And worst of all, I didn't learn from my own mistakes. So I made a decision. No more new strategies. No more complex systems. Instead, I sat down and wrote out every mistake I had made. I started with the basics. Only trade when there's a clear signal. Exit immediately when the stop loss is hit. Take profit where I planned. Don't enter trades based on emotion. Don't try to win it back with reckless orders. I went back to demo trading, not to test new techniques, but to train my mind. Small trades, but by the rules. I practiced sitting still for hours, training myself to stay calm. I reminded myself, even staying on the sidelines is a skill. I began to realize trading isn't just about technical analysis. It's a psychological war, a battle where your greatest opponent is always you. No one forced me to enter a trade. No one moved my stop loss for me. No one told me to overtrade. It was all me. And so, only I could fix it. I created my own rules. If the market isn't clear, stay out. No more than 3 trades per day. Don't increase position size just because I won. Don't try to get revenge on the market after a loss. Even when my heart raced and hands trembled, I forced myself to follow the plan. I forced myself to stop when I'd reached my limit. Even when he wanted to try just one more. I learned to accept a small loss instead of letting it drag my whole account down. Bit by bit, I rebuilt trust in myself. And for the first time in a long time, I no longer felt like a victim of the market. I felt in control. I knew what I was doing and why. I stopped expecting to make money every day. I only expected myself to follow my rules. And strangely enough, once I stopped pressuring myself to win, I started making profits. Small, but consistent. Not because I was better than others, but because I had finally mastered myself. Trading has never been easy, but you can go far if you're willing to face your failures and strong enough to rise. Step by step, I'm still on this journey, but now with a different mindset. No more rushing, no more illusions, just a person who knows who they are, where they stand, and that patience is the most sustainable edge in this brutal game. Now, I no longer feel euphoric when I win. I don't slam the desk or cheer when I take profit. I don't rage or blame the world when I get stopped out. I just do the right thing, day after day, step by step, like a craftsman, precise, quiet, and focused. Trading is no longer an emotional roller coaster for me. It's a profession, a serious job. Every click is a calculated decision. Every entry is a commitment to myself. I used to see discipline as a cage, something rigid, boring, that robbed me of freedom. I broke it, thinking I was smart enough to bend the rules, and I lost everything, over and over again. Now I understand. Discipline is not a restriction. It's a requirement for survival. Without discipline, I can't control greed. I can't stop myself from overtrading. I'll move my stops, cling to false hope, and watch my account dissolve, bit by bit. I don't need another lesson. I've had enough. I've stayed up at night, devastated by one stupid trade. I've added more funds just to lose even more. I've stared at the screen for hours, so stressed I forgot how to breathe, just because I didn't know whether to hold or cut. All of it came from a lack of discipline. Now, discipline isn't something I have to force. It's part of my rhythm, like breathing, like brushing my teeth in the morning. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to argue with myself. I just do the right thing, again and again, without compromise, because I know one slip, one exception, one moment of weakness, and I could fall back into the pit I once spent months climbing out of. That's why I hold myself tighter than anyone else could. I set boundaries. I write out my rules. I post them in front of me. I'm not only disciplined while trading, I'm disciplined outside of trading too. I sleep on time, so my mind stays sharp. I exercise to manage stress. I train myself to live patiently, to not chase the market. Discipline won't make you rich overnight. It won't guarantee you become a millionaire in a year, but it will keep you in the game. And in trading, as long as you're still alive, you still have a chance. I don't need huge wins. I don't need hundreds of dollars in profit every day. I just need consistency. I just need to protect my capital, my mindset, and my clarity. The biggest victory isn't on the chart. It's in your mind. It's being able to sit still in a chaotic market. It's cutting your loss at the right time, even when it hurts. It's standing aside when everyone else is jumping in like moths to a flame. That is true strength. And if you're walking this trading path too, I hope you come to understand the value of one word: discipline. Not through books, not through theory, but through your own journey. Let every trade be something you're proud of, not because it won or lost, but because you did it right. That's what lasting victory looks like. Thank you for listening to my story. If you're just starting out, if you've stumbled, if you've ever wanted to give up, I hope this video is a small light reminding you you're not alone. And if you found this message valuable, don't forget to subscribe for more videos. I'll continue to share how I overcame losses, how I built a sustainable trading plan, and especially how I train my mind not to be swallowed by the market. See you in the next video. Stay disciplined, stay steady, because in this world, the one who survives to the end is the one who truly wins.